Hey there everybody, I am Movie Reviews 2219 here, and I will be talking to you about my review of the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th, The Killer Cut. Now, naming Killer Cut, this is pretty much a director's cut, and it's unrated, I think. Ooh, it still says it's rated R. Yeah, there's some... pretty much the way Michael Bay envisioned this movie is the way I expected it to be. A bunch of drunk, stupid, horny teenagers go out to the woods, they party, they have sex, there's drugs, there's rock and roll, and then most of them get killed by Jason Voorhees. Now, the movie begins sort of like this. It begins with these people hiking in the woods. No, wait, something happens before that, let me remember. Oh, yes. It's kind of like a redo of the original ending to the very first Friday movie. You know, Mrs. Voorhees is murdering people because her son drowned in the lake when he was a boy because he couldn't swim and they weren't looking after him. Fucking irresponsible camp counselors. That's why I always hated summer camp. Now, anyway. So, her head gets chopped off. Jason Voorhees, as a little boy, sees it, and then he takes her head and then runs off to the woods for years and years and years and years. And then suddenly we're in present day. And pretty much these people are hiking through the woods with the GPS, and then they set camp up, and then they all go out and do their thing, and then there's some guy who finds some pot, and then there's this scene where these two people in the tent are having sex, and it's like they all get killed in the end, except for that one chick who Jason kidnaps and takes to his subterranean lair because she somehow looks like his mom. Then the credits roll, and then it says 6 weeks later. And then I'm like, so between that and then, it only took 6 weeks. So pretty much during the beginning, these guys are in a convenience store in the middle of nowhere, and then there's this dude, and then there's probably, I think, the first Asian dude in the Friday the 13th movie, Aaron Yu, who played Chewie. He's pretty much stoned. He's pretty much stoned in the back of the car at the beginning of the movie. Hell, he's stoned or drunk all throughout the movie while they're playing beer pong. There's a scene where he pours the beer into his shoe and then drinks out of it because nobody else will. I could see that. So, pretty much they camp out at apparently one of the characters' father's cabin in the woods. And then they all do stuff, and then some of them end up being killed. There's this guy on a boat who's driving the boat. It's pretty awesome, actually. Jason fucking shoots an arrow through his head. Throughout all the years Jason had been in the woods, that fucker learned how to use his weapons. So yeah, before he does that, he has this stupid burlap sack over his face because he's way too ugly to be accepted by society or some sort of bull like that. So, as this movie goes on, just ignore the noise in the background. As the movie goes on, pretty much people start dying. There's a body count all of a sudden. Because there's this dude who's looking at porn, and then he sees this mannequin who he starts to touch inappropriately, and then Jason slits his throat. And then, apparently, a burlap sack falls off of his face, and guess what else he finds instead of his sack? The hockey mask. So he puts that on, and pretty much that is how he discovered the famous hockey mask, according to the back of the DVD. But you can all see the new Jason. This one actually runs at his victims. I'm not kidding. Watch the movie. He does. Watch the very beginning of the movie. So, pretty much, throughout this whole film, you kind of wonder what's been going on these past couple of years. So Jason kills people, and then there's a scene where there's two people, and then they go to Camp Crystal Lake, which has been abandoned and entirely inhabited by Jason. He somehow finds out that there's someone else here, and he just goes nuts. He like takes like a bunch of canoes and throws them away. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty fun. Overall, it's a 4 out of 5 movie. A 4 out of 5 movie. I mean, I don't like remakes, but they're still another installment in the franchise, and this is another installment in the Jason Voorhees saga. Although it's kind of like a reboot of the entire series, but who cares? So that's how I see it. And in the end of the movie, the girl who he kidnaps stabs him, and then she throws his dead body over into the lake, and then all of a sudden he bursts out of the dock and then grabs her. So just to tell you this, they have announced that their plans for a sequel, a Friday the 13th 2 or Part 2, whatever. I am personally maybe looking forward to this. So this has been my review of Friday the 13th, 2009. I am Movie Reviews 2219, and I will see you all later.